Sometimes things happen that are so unbelievable, even your most skeptical friend would be like, no way that actually happened. If you just told the story, people would call it fake. Luckily, we live in a time where there's always a phone or security cam rolling to catch the madness. From bizarre moments to scenes straight out of a movie, here are the videos that no one would believe if there wasn't proof. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's roll. In San Miguel de Tucumán, Argentina, a woman was waiting for her Uber while scrolling on her phone, totally zoned out, and accidentally climbed into a parked police car. Yep, she literally just opened the door and sat down. The officer was like, excuse me? And walked up to her. That's when she finally realized she was inside a cop car and not a rideshare. The flashing lights didn't help because she never looked up from her screen. If you ever needed proof that people are addicted to their phones, there it is. Brazil really said, let's make politics weird. In 2023, a local councilman from Fernandópolis, known as Cidinho do Paraíso, came up with a proposal that sounds like it came from a fever dream, installing air conditioners on street poles.
Há 25 anos atrás nós não tínhamos celular falando com o outro. Hoje nós podemos falar daqui para a China. Por que que não pode ter ar-condicionado em via pública ao ar livre?
He said the idea was to use solar panels to power AC units on the poles to cool down public spaces. I mean, it made perfect sense in his head. If it works inside a house, why not cool down a plaza? But yeah, anyone with basic knowledge of how air actually works knows that's totally impossible. Cooling an outdoor area like that just isn't how physics works. And here's the twist. This guy wasn't just a random councilman. He was the most voted in his town. Democracy sometimes just does its thing. Heavy machinery is supposed to fix problems, not create them. But in 2024, in the small town of Casca in southern Brazil, a road grader was casually moving down the street when boom, one of its tires exploded, and not just a little pop. The blowout was so strong, it completely wrecked a car parked across the street. No one was inside, thankfully, but imagine parking your car on a quiet street and then having it randomly destroyed by a tire grenade. Now the unlucky car owner has a shiny wreck, a lot of paperwork, and probably a lawsuit against the city that'll drag on for years. At a Shakira concert in Rio de Janeiro in early 2025, fans were melting under the 100 degrees Fahrenheit heat while waiting in line. That's when a bunch of street vendors showed up selling cardboard for $2 to $8 a piece. Just so people could shade themselves. Some called it smart business, others a total ripoff. The city's security tried to shut them down, but things escalated fast. The vendors blocked a whole street, threw trash, and even set things on fire to stop the police from interfering. Yeah, they found a way to make quick cash from desperate fans. But charging $8 for cardboard, that's some Shark Tank level audacity. Just because you're inside doesn't mean you're 100% safe from a storm. A woman filming the weather captured the exact moment a massive lightning bolt slammed into the roof of a building just yards away. It's a miracle her phone didn't fry in her hands. You can almost feel the jolt through the screen, and imagine the poor family on the top floor. Probably lost every appliance they owned. Pro tip, maybe don't stand near windows during a lightning storm while holding metal. Guilherme Melo, the official commentator for Cruzeiro's soccer team, was live on air complaining that the field looked dark, like the lights weren't working. Turns out the lights were totally fine. He just forgot he was wearing sunglasses at night. His coworkers realized instantly and called him out live on the spot. The whole moment turned into a viral meme within minutes. Nothing like publicly roasting yourself with a pair of Ray-Bans at 9 p.m. probably didn't even notice anything changing in this video, but almost everything in the frame has been moving or switching slowly this whole time. It's a trick called gradual change blindness, where your brain can't register slow visual changes unless you know to look for them. Now that you're aware, you'll see objects disappearing, changing colors, or shifting places. Try this on your friends and see who's actually paying attention. Spoiler, probably no one. In Nashville, the company Nightscape built an immersive 360 degrees experience that's basically a sensory roller coaster. They used 17 laser projectors to transform an entire room, walls and ceiling, into different environments. 1 minute you're in space, next you're on a beach. Add spatial audio, custom scents, and flexible furniture, and you've got a next level trip without leaving the building. Just don't forget your Dramamine. It gets wild. There's nothing like the feeling of buying a new car until you crash it 2 minutes later.
Aí, papai. Meu, Thiago, a estrada da mocinha que até não aguenta. Wow, o bicho bateu a caranga, pai.
This guy had just left the dealership with his shiny little used Fiat, and before he even made it past the first corner, bam, totaled it. And the worst part, it wasn't someone else's fault. He was 100% to blame. Now he's not just a dealership customer, he's also gonna be best friends with the local body shop. Congrats on the new project car. In rural India, there are traveling amusement parks that don't use electricity. The rides are powered by hand. That's right, no motors. Just workers using brute strength to spin Ferris wheels and move rides like it's CrossFit with extra danger. But surprisingly, the accident rate is super low, probably because none of the rides go fast enough to be actually risky. It's cheap, it's chaotic, and it works. Who needs Six Flags when you've got pure grit land? In China, there's a traditional dish called suodiu, which is basically hot soup made with river rocks. Yep. The idea is to season the stones with garlic, chili, and spices, then suck out the flavor. The name literally means suck and throw away. The dish started centuries ago with river workers who didn't have food, but still wanted something warm and tasty. Now it's a quirky cultural snack that both locals and adventurous tourists try for the experience. Who knew sucking on rocks could be part of dinner? So a police cruiser shows up outside a shop, but surprise, there are no cops inside. In Goiânia, Brazil, a mechanic working on a federal highway police vehicle decided to take it for a joyride. Why? To collect a personal debt. Yup. He picked up his wife, got in the police car, and drove it around town to confront someone who owed her money, pretending to be officers. The whole thing was caught on security cameras. And let's just say, they ended up at the police station for real this time. Play stupid games, win federal charges. In São Sebastião, Brazil, the staff at a pool store noticed wet footprints on the showroom floor, but they didn't remember any customers swimming. Turns out a truck driver was so overheated that he parked his rig, walked in, and dove fully clothed into a display pool. The whole thing was caught on camera and became an instant internet classic. The guy's still a mystery, but the employees say they still laugh every time they replay the footage. At least he stayed hydrated. This guy might be working on a construction site, but he throws buckets of sand like he's gunning for the NBA. He launches 2 full buckets of sand into a cement mixer with perfect aim and 0 spill. It's like a mix between concrete work and trick shots. Moral of the story? Sometimes the underpaid guy is actually the MVP. The Chinese Neo ET9 electric sedan has a suspension system that looks like magic. It adjusts to the road in real time, absorbing bumps so smoothly that it barely looks like the car is moving. It's like watching a hovercraft glide over potholes. And it's not just for luxury models. The company says they'll bring this tech to cheaper cars soon. Once you ride in one of these, it's hard to go back. Kawasaki dropped a prototype that looks like it came out of a sci-fi movie. It's not a bike, not a car. It's the Corleo. Basically, it's a robotic horse with 4 mechanical legs instead of wheels. It's built to handle any terrain, mountains, forest, off-road, you name it. The Corleo could launch in 2050, and it's already got people dreaming of a future where your vehicle walks instead of rolls. Just imagine pulling up to work on one of these. The future's gonna be wild. And that's it for today. Catch you in the next one.